Hello students, let us discuss about directive principles of state policy. Now, directive principles of state policy are there in part 4 of Indian Constitution, and Article 36 to 51 deals with directive principles of state policy. And from where did we have taken this directive principles of state policy? This directive principles of state policy were included in Indian Constitution, looking into the Constitution of Ireland, that is nothing but Irish also we say. Now, what is the main aim of this directive principles of state policy? The main aim is to maintain social justice, economic welfare, foreign policy, and legal and administrative matters. And when you see the two paras, the first para says where directive principles of state policy are in Indian Constitution. Second one, what does the directive principles of state policy do? And the third one, B.R. Ambedkar quoted very rightly. What did he quoted about directive principles of state policy is 19th November 1948, while drafting the constitution, he stated that directive principles can be the basis of future governance of the country. Means the entire governance of India can be felt only with the implementation of directive principles of state policy. Now, directive principles of state policy are categorized into three, Nana. One is socialistic principles, second one is Gandhian principles, third one is liberal intellectual principles, and the fourth one is nothing but the additional principles. These are the thing what we have in directive principles of state policy. The first one is socialist principle, second one is Gandhian, third one is liberal intellectual principles, and the additional principles were also included in 1976 that we discussed later. Now let us try to understand the socialist principles is concerned. What is socialistic principles? Now, socialistic principle is made in order to maintain social and economic justice and also to maintain a welfare state of India. Socialist principles were included. What are all articles tells about socialist principle? Article 38, 39, 39A, 41, 42, 43, 43 and 47. Now, what all 38 says? 38 says that government has to promote welfare of all the people by securing social order through justice, that could be social, economic, political, and to minimize the inequalities in income and status. Directive principles of state policy is asking the government to promote social justice. Directive principle of state policy is asking the government to promote economic and political justice. Directive principle is also asking the government to reduce the inequalities of income, status and facilities and opportunities. This is based on the the justice oriented is concerned. What does Article 39 says? Article 39 clearly says that every citizen should be given adequate means of livelihood. Why they have to give this livelihood? Because with this livelihood he can earn money. With that money he can able to satisfy the basic needs. Second one, whatever the resources the country has, that material resources has to be distributed equitably among the community for the common good. Whatever the resources we have in the country, that resources has to be distributed equally. Then, apart from that, concentration of wealth and means of production should not be in the hands of one. For that sake, what it has been written in Article 39, prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production. Next, socialist principles also says that equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Equal pay for equal work for both men and women. This means to see what there should not be any gender equality in paying up the income is concerned. That too, equal pay for equal work. Both has to perform the same work and both have to get the same remuneration. Then, preservation of health and strength of workers and children against forcible abuse. Every worker has to be promoted, preserved with health and the strength is concerned, because if the worker is healthy, if the worker has got a full strength to work, then the production increases. Apart from that, the children should be children should be prohibited from forcible abuses concerned. And apart from that, everyone should be given opportunities for healthy development of children, means equal distribution for the development of children also. What does 39 says? 39 says every citizen should be given equal justice and free legal aid to the poor, because poor are to be taken care and legal aid to be given to the poor and equal justice shall be given. Then Article 41 says what? 41 says in case of unemployment, old age, sickness and disabled secure citizen, we have, it also says that, assistance should be given, and everyone should be given right to work, right to education, right to public assistance also. And Article 42 says that it makes provisions for just and human conditions of work and maternity relief. Now, what does this mean? Every worker, when is working, the worker has to be provided with reasonable and human conditions to work. Because if the worker is not having a proper conditions to work, he cannot work. Similarly, where the females are working, where the women are working, there the women need to be given even the maternity relief also. That, of course, when you study the labor laws, you can able to study still more clearly. But the women who are working, at the time of, delivery, before the delivery and after the delivery, they should be given some relief. And 43 says, secure a living wage and a decent standard of living. Everyone should be given a living wage, and everyone should try to lead a decent standard of living. Apart from that, 43A says what? Take steps to secure the participation of the workers in the management is concerned. This means to say what? Every worker should be given opportunity to participate in the affairs of the management. When you make this, the management will realize what are the problems of the laborers. So for that sake, 43A says clearly that every, the worker should be made in the participation of management affairs. Then apart from that, 47 says what? State has to raise the level of nutrition and a decent standard of living, of people, and to improve the health is concerned. So state has to improve the level of nutrition so that everybody will get the nutritious food is concerned. So these are nothing but the socialist principles. Let us discuss about the Gandhian principles. Now, Gandhian principles is based on Gandhiji's ideas. Gandhian principles, though this directive principles is based on Irish constitution, but certain principles, which is based on our own leader ideas also, that is nothing but Gandhiji's idea. Now, what does Gandhijian ideas, or what does the Gandhian principle says? Article 40, 43, 43B, 46, 47, 48. This explains about the Gandhian principles. Now, what does 40 says? 40 says that state has to organize village panchayat. Now, this is Gandhiji's dream. Gandhiji wanted administration to be decentralized. When when the administration is decentralized till the last level, village panchayats also come into the existence. So the Gandhiji wanted people to get the administration at their local level itself. So for which Gandhiji suggested every village should organize village panchayats, and they should be given with necessary powers and authority so that it can function as a unit of self-government. This is very clear to you. 43 says what? 43 says that every citizen should get support from the government. Now, what the government has to do? The state has to promote cottage industries on individual or cooperation basis in rural areas. Mind you, Nana, in India, we have a rich, talent, rich skill in developing, certain goods by ourselves only. The people need to get a support, people need to get a initiative, for which government has to promote the cottage industries. That could be on individual or that could be on cooperation basis. Then 43 says that to promote voluntary autonomous functioning, democratic control and professional management of cooperative societies. The cooperative societies are being established, and that has to function autonomously, and that has to have a democratic control. 46 says what? 46 says that educational and economic interest shall be promoted, particularly to SC, STs and other weaker sections of the society. Why? And to protect them from social injustice and exploitation. See, every SC, ST, BCs, these are socially backward. These are treated as unequals, and they are not being treated equally. So Ambedkar felt in Gandhian principles stating that SC, ST, BC should be promoted with good education and economic interest. Apart from that, they should also get social justice, and they should be protected from exploitation. Next, prohibit the consumption of intoxication of drinks and drugs. See, drinks and drugs, it's not a good sign. And when the mind become unconscious, when the mind becomes intoxicated, anything happen, for which Gandhiji felt that in the state should promote and prohibit, state should prohibit the consumption of intoxication of drinks and drugs. I repeat, I'm really sorry. State should prohibit consumption of intoxication of drinks and drugs which are injurious to health. When the mind becomes unconscious, we don't know what we are going to do. We don't know how we are going to behave. Anything can happen that could be injurious to health. Regular consumption of liquor, regular consumption of intoxication of drinks and drugs, will imbalance the body. So for which Gandhiji wanted the citizens to be hale and healthy, for which Gandhiji said that prohibit the consumption of intoxication of drinks and drugs which are injurious to health. Next, 48 says that prohibit the slaughterhouse of cows, calves and other males and draught cattle and to improve their breed. So Gandhiji was very, very against slaughterhouses is concerned, which was supported by Ambedkar in including these principles in the Gandhian. So prohibit slaughters of cows, calves and other milch and draught cattle to improve their breeds is concerned. And the next one is liberal intellectual principle. Now this is considered as the last principles in 44, 45, 48, 49, 50, 51. What does 44 says? 44 says that the country should have a common civil code. Uniform civil code should be there in order to maintain unity and integrity. 45 says every state has to take care of the childhood education for all the children below how many years? 6 years. 48 says agricultural and animal husbandry must be organized on modern scientific lines. Animal husbandry and agriculture should be organized on modern scientific lines. 49 says that it is the duty of the state to protect the monuments, places, objects and artistic or historic interest is concerned, which is of national importance. So every citizen, not only citizen, every state has to protect the monuments which are there, to protect and to preserve, so that future generation can have the information. And Article 50 says that the judiciary must be separated from executive. Means judiciary is the one which interprets laws and executive is the one which implements the laws. So both has got their own duties. If one is involving with other, it is not a good sign. For which in 50 they said that we have to separate judiciary from executive. And 51 says that every state has to promote international peace and security and to maintain good relation between each countries. Every country has to maintain what? Nation has to promote international peace and security and to maintain just and honorable relation between the nation. And every country has to, a country has to respect international law and treaty and encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. Any international dispute shall be settled by arbitration. So in 1976, 4 more principles were added, Nana. Those 4 more principles are there. Article 39, 39A, 43A, 48. 39 says that everyone should secure opportunities for healthy development of children. Means child to be taken care. And everyone should, state has to promote equal justice and provide free legal aid to poor. We have studied. To take steps to to secure and participate the workers is concerned in management of industries. I said why the worker need to be involved in management, because productivity increases. And 48 says to protect and promote the environment and to safeguard forest and wildlife. So it is the duty of every citizen. It is the duty of the government also to protect the environment, forest and wildlife also. So these are the directive principles of state policy. What you could able to analyze, Nana, and read, understand it. Yeah. So this is what is about the directive principles. In the next topic, in the next video, I'm going to tell you about the next topic. Please listen to it once, twice and thrice and analyze and realize what is the directive principles of state policy. All the best.